Hey everybody, today we are going to be talking about Native Americans in sports, seeing as how we are still in our minority of sports unit. So outside of lacrosse, there are not many Native Americans that have played professional sports. And society created barriers to make it harder for Native Americans to play sports, and they were not even considered citizens until 1924 with the passing of the Snyder Act. A lot of people don't really think about Native Americans because they have a very, very small population. Their population in the United States today is less than 1%. But obviously, they were the first people here. So let's talk about Jim Toy real quick. Jim Toy was a Sioux Indian that began playing professional baseball in 1887. At that point, Native Americans were not allowed to play with white players, so he pretended that he was white to be able to play. And I'm not really sure how he got away with it. I think everybody kind of knew, but like they just accepted that he was Native American and they played with him. Then you got Louis Sockalexis. He was an all-star caliber outfielder from Cleveland from 1897 to 1899. His career was cut short because he was forced to endure racial taunts everywhere he went. So very similar to Jackie Robinson, even before Jackie Robinson, he would go places, people would taunt him because he was Native American. He eventually became an alcoholic and could no longer play because of the taunting. People were just really, really mean and nasty to him. There's a picture of Louis Sockalexis, and then again him hitting, and you can see here his hands and how he split the bat. A lot of players used to do that, most notably Ty Cobb. But splitting your hands like that gives you a little better back control. Just, you little fun baseball tidbit of the day. All right, you got Charles Bender. Charles Bender is actually in the Hall of Fame, but he was still discriminated against. I think he played. They started calling him Chief, and he would often call white fans foreigners. So a little back and forth there. I'm sure it's tough to be called a racist name while you're playing a sport, especially if you're really good and people are still being discriminatory to you. It's just a sign of the times from then. His career lasted from 1923 to 1927, and he pitched in 5 World Series. So he played for 24 years as a pitcher. Here is a picture of Charles Bender. There he is right there. Probably the most famous Native American to ever play. And then you got Jim Thorpe, who is often regarded as one of the greatest athletes of all time. But he was a multi-sport athlete, and if you remember back to my presentation on sports profile for the very beginning of the semester, I chose Jim Thorpe as the greatest athlete of all time. He played football, baseball, and he was an Olympic athlete. He won and even won competitions as a ballroom dancer. He's most known for competing in the Olympic decathlon in 1912. So this is the story, and I'm sure I've told it to you before, but when it was apparent that the decathlon favorite that Thorpe had a chance to win, he stole his shoes and hid them, and Jim Thorpe won with 2 shoes he found in the trash that didn't even match. He's also one of the NFL's top 100 players, and he's just very, very impressive athlete. We'll work on Hispanics and Latinos in sports tomorrow. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you're having a great day.